Well, hello there. This is my fifth time recording this video, as every time I've had audio problems, so I'm going to have my OBS down in the corner so that I can just make sure that it's still recording. Um, Anyways, I wanted to make a video like Open Analysis Live or Doug Confere, I think he's called, this man right here. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. If not, I'm sorry. Anyways, I don't have Doug Confere's looks, his suit, or his reverse engineering skills. As for Open Analysis Live, I'm not bald, so that kind of rules that one out. Anyways, let's get started, and hopefully this video won't take as long as it did previously. So, the first thing we're going to do is we have our sample down here. I'm not sure if this is actually malware or not, however it is good for unpacking, so, you know, fair game. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up DIE, or Detect It Easy. All these tools are public open source, I think, so hopefully you can use these, follow along at home, on a VM, of course. So, let's check this out. Obsidian, not good. It is actually Themida that I found out, that the obfuscator is Themida, so we already know that, so we don't have to bother with Obsidian. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go into x64 debug. I've renamed it just for the sake of in case it tries to detect something. It shouldn't. However, we are going to do this anyways, or rather, I am going to do this anyways, unless you're following along at home. So let's open up our sample here. I've already unpacked this from a stub that gets, or you download the stub, it gets dropped to the disk. This is the thing that gets dropped to the disk. So let's open this up. We're going to go to Plugins, Silahide, and Themida. Nice. Now we are going to continue to the, oops, yeah. So I've set a breakpoint on system DLL load. We can turn that off for now as we want to get to the entry point. There we are. Now I'm going to re-enable that. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait for something called MS Core DLL to load, as that's what initializes .NET. So let's just step forward, breaking on every DLL load. Interesting. Continue. Oh, interesting. Let's just restart this real quick, as something obviously went wrong. So, kernel base, app help, system breakpoint reach, entry point. So let's just step forward until we find the function that we're looking for. Or the DLL, sorry. MS Core. There it is. We're going to step forward once more, just in case. Now, we are going to go into Scylla. And for some reason it thinks that we're in NTDLL, we're not. So we're going to go to snss.exe. If we try to automatically dump this, it will fail. I'll show you this by dumping it to the desktop. It'll say dump successful. If we run it, it'll crash. It'll not do anything. So that is a completely broken dump. So we're not going to use that. Instead, we're going to go to File, Dump Memory. We're going to select SNSS, the first one, and we're going to click Dump PE to the desktop. And we're going to name it SNSS dump.exe. This memory file we can ignore. Now we have our dump, so we can stop our debugger and exit. Now we can take a look at this in DIE, see if anything's changed. Of course I know it has. You can see now, .NET Reactor, .NET, no Themida. So that's good. We've bypassed Themida entirely. This is because Themida's .NET protection is extremely weak. It only acts as a anti-tamper for the initialization, not for the actual program. And it also, as far as I know, and it also just invokes the .NET. It just dumps it into memory and invokes it. It unpacks it, does whatever. So now we can use this dump. So let's check out DE4 dot. First of all, let's just drag this in. Actually, I'm going to open this up in CMD, and we're going to do DE4 dot. Oops, let's just head over to the exe itself, and SNSS dump. And we're going to enable verbose mode. Ah, you can see there's an error. Could not find resource decryptor key. So if we open this up in dnspy, another public tool that's open source, and very helpful, extremely helpful. Here's some remnants from when I was doing the video before. Come on. Close all. and we drag and drop our SNSS dump in, you can see some irregularities. Mostly the titles of functions are incredibly weird. You can see there's a lot of weird things happening here, a lot of very weird things happening here. And if we go to the entry point, you can see a lot of control flow. There's no strings. You can see that it is running WinForms, which is very good. Very good. So we're going to have to clean this. So how string encryption works in .NET Reactor and why it was failing to decrypt the resources are pretty much intertwined. How .NET Reactor works is it takes all the strings in your application, it then bundles them up, encrypts them, and puts them into your resources as an encrypted resource file. Then, whenever it needs a string, it decrypts it on the fly and puts it in, it decrypts it on the fly and puts it in where it should be. So we are going to have a look at our resources. I'm not sure what this one is, however I do know that this one is what we're looking for. So we're going to copy the name here, and we're going to go to search assemblies. We're going to select selected files, number string, which is right here, and we're going to put the name of the resource in. Now you can see we've got two results. If we go to the second one here, it'll decompile. We don't actually need to decompile it. We can just go to analyze, used by. You can see it's not used by anything. We can ignore that. That's completely useless to us. However, if we double click on this one, and we do need to decompile this one, and we click Analyze, we can see that it's used by a lot of things, including the entry function. This is in the entry function, as you can see, application run. So that's what we were just looking at. You can see that it does some stuff. This string is visible as it needs to be, because that's the name of the resource. However, no other strings are visible except some weird GUIDs, and I think that's it. So what we're going to do is we're now going to scroll up until we get to the definition of the function, which should be at the top here. There's a lot of control flow here, a lot of garbage. However, if we scroll up, we should find the start of the function here. Come on. It's a very large function. .NET Reactor generates a lot of junk. So we're going to get this token right here. The token is basically a key that lets the computer know where it is in the file, what function it is. You can also do it through the name. However, the name is a little wonky right now. So let's clear the screen here, and we're going to go de-for.64, and we're going to use the help file. So you can see something called stir type and stir toke. That stands for string type and string token. So if we scroll up here, we can find .NET Reactor. That's what we want, DR4. If we scroll up some more, we can see that -p type, obfuscator type. So we can also see in .NET Reactor, we can completely disable the decryption of resources, as that's what was causing the error. So that's what we want. So we're going to tell de4. What we want here. So we want our file, which is SNSS dump. We want our type, so DR4. We then want to disable our resource decryption. We want to set the string decryption type to delegate, and it explains the different string decryptor types right here. We want delegate as it fits this scenario. I think emulate would also work, but we're just going to be on the safe side and use this. The next thing, we have to select our decryption function using the token, and in this case, the token is right here, as this is our decryption function. So we'll just copy that and paste it in. Now we can press enter. Cleaning, detected, cleaning, renaming. It gives us an error, however this is not a fatal error, and it really doesn't matter as far as I can tell. But you can see now it succeeded, which is great. So we can drag and drop our cleaned in, and if we look at this, we can see numerous things have changed, notably that our function names have been fixed. And now, all of our strings are visible as well. Let's compare this to the original here. We've got this weird name, we've got control flow, we've got no strings. In this one, we have no control flow, as de4. Removed that for us. We have nice names, as de4. Also did that. And we've got strings, which we helped with, but de4. did the majority of it. So now, we're pretty much done. We can make sure that this still runs, by just, oops, I clicked cut, copy, paste this in, just run this, see what happens. It deletes itself. That's because it has anti-tamper. It checks if it's in the proper folder. So let's just check this out and make sure everything's okay. So it does some things related to tamper protection. I think that's Windows Defender. If we go to the main form here, yeah, so run form 1. It'll take a little while to decompile. However, we can see path, restart as admin. If we scroll up to the top here, we should see something about dumping. Yeah, attempt to dump, spoofing computer time, remote debugger, attaching a debugger, things like that. Let's go back to form 1 here, the start, path, restart as admin. So this is the function that it tries to check if it's in Windows syswow 64, which is strange because it seems to do this twice. Anyways, other than that, it does some weird things. Select from Win32 computer system. Anyways, if we scroll down some more, we can now see that this is being resold under a bunch of different names. See, Treycuss, Citadel Spoofer. This sample is a hardware ID spoofer that's being sold. I guess it's also being resold. So this is the name for potassium, the scientific name, I believe. Nassel Spoofer, GMC Spoofer, SSE Silent Solutions, Underground Providers, TM Hacks 22, which I thought was a reputable provider. I guess not. Elite Hacks, Vindy. These are people who got scammed into thinking they were buying a private spoofer. Darkside, Elimination, GA, King's Choice, Crazy Coders. Anyways, the long and short of it is it's being resold to a bunch of people, and they're probably getting scammed. Another funny thing that I found is if we search for a string @rave, that's me, and we look at this, we can see that I'm apparently nasty. If a process title contains @raves, that would be Discord. If someone's in a Discord chat with me, this won't trigger for me, but it'll trigger for people who are in a chat with me, I guess. It'll start and it'll shut down the computer. So that's that's really funny. Let's see what else it does. It kills itself. Of course it does. Anyways, yeah. So another thing that I found is that while reverse engineering this, the kernel mode component is pasted from unknown cheats. They simply downloaded a file off unknown cheats. It was an all-in-one bundle as well, and I'll link that thread in the description. Hopefully, it's kind of funny. So they just downloaded that, popped it on their server, and resold it. The user mode component, however, is also public. It essentially does what Revo Uninstaller does. It's a free tool where you can uninstall something, then clean all the traces of it ever being on your computer. If you do that in advanced mode, it does the same thing as this, except for free. Another funny thing is that the kernel mode of the spoofer is detected. It has been detected since 2017, in fact. Some of the methods that it uses in the kernel have been detected by BattleEye, which is the lesser of EAC, BattleEye, and Vanguard, as it also claims to spoof Vanguard. BattleEye has been detecting this since 2017. So you may be using this thinking, oh, maybe it's my cheat that's detected. Nope, it's the spoofer. You're just getting scammed. Anyways, even if it wasn't already detected and this wasn't already public, I reported all of this, including the binaries, including the sample unpacked and everything, to EAC, Vanguard, BattleEye. So even if it isn't detected by some miracle, it'll be detected now. Also, alluding to the thing with Rave in the title, which is my nickname, it was really fun to decrypt this, to dump this decrypted. It's been a cat and mouse game. I did a bunch of stuff that would get logged to their server, like, trying to crack it. So they obviously took notice of that, and with the help of some leaked DMs by someone I know who leaked my DMs about the spoofer, of course, they blacklisted me. They've done a bunch of stuff in the past few days, like changed their obfuscator. It used to be VM Protect. However, they changed it to Themida. They changed their .NET encryption a bunch of times. They changed their server calls, their startup variables, everything like that. Just to try to spite me, thwart me, whatever. It didn't work, obviously, because, no offense, they don't really know what they're doing. Other than that, Yeah, don't buy software. Yeah, don't buy software, but don't buy software from people who aren't like genuine companies, like like Activision. You can buy a game from Activision and you know you're not getting scammed because it's a legitimate company. Don't buy software from people you don't know in real life or who they are in a company. Like if you buy something from a guy who lives in what is formerly Yugoslavia or Russia or Brazil, that's on you. You've just kind of wasted your money. That's your fault. They're just capitalizing because they're in a very poor country. They need to make ends meet through whatever possible way necessary. So anyways, I hope this video has worked because I've had a lot of failures so far trying to record this. I also hope that you enjoy it, that it was as fun for you and as you learned as much as I did from it. I hope it was entertaining. I hope you thought it was cool or good or whatever. If not, tell me why in the comments. And to the developer of this software, if you see this, I'm not sorry. Stop scamming people. And thank you. It was extremely fun to completely demolish your software. It probably won't stop your sales in any way because the people who buy it are not right in the head anyways. Anyways, goodbye. Have a great day. All of that. Bye bye.